Welcome back, my YouTube family. In today's video, I am excited about building this monster PC. I'm talking about this is everything, and I am super stoked. I can't wait to build it. Going over a couple of parts now. I'm missing my water cooler for my i9 processor, but I'm going to use an old Evo 212 that I got laying around until that comes. So, but yeah, I can't wait. So it's Saturday and I'm getting ready to build this thing. We got us an XPG Battle Cruiser. This is a mid-tower. It's called a super mid-tower case. We got the i9-13-900 or 13,900, however they say it. It's the 13th gen processor, the fastest smoking thing, period, right? And then I got the, oh my God, the GeForce RTX 4090, also the most smokingest thing on the planet right now. So these two combinations right here, this is just complete stupid overkill, but I am building this because I play virtual reality and I play PC virtual reality, and so I'm trying to get the most frame rate and the best quality that I can possibly get with my Quest 2. Then I got the DDR5. Now this is 6400. It goes all the way up to 6800, but I did skimp out on the RAM just a little bit. 16, well actually 32 gigs, 216 sticks. The hard drive is going to be the Western Digital SN70. This thing is smoking for games. I'm using a Z790 PG Riptide. A decent motherboard, not the best, but you know, it's a decent motherboard. And then I am using a Gigabyte 1000 watt power supply here. And the reason why I chose this power supply is because this card needs a special Gen5 PCI connector, and this power supply actually supplies that. So again, the only thing that I'm missing is my CPU cooler, water cooler. It's right here on the screen. That's what it's going to be. But I'm going to get this built and see how it goes. So stick around. I am super excited about this one, y'all. So yeah, let's get cracking. And this is the case. I guess it's supposed to light up with fancy lights and stuff like that, and it's tempered glass so you can see through it. Nothing too fancy. In there, it has plenty of room for my for that 4090. My previous case couldn't even fit it in. Speaking of previous case, this is it. It is dirty. Wow. But I had a 650 watt power supply, a Gigabyte 1070, an i7 or i5 6600K, i5 6600K, and I only have one 16 gig RAM stick in there. I had two, one went bad, and regular SSDs. This one had the M2, so whatever. That's the comparison of my old case versus the new case. Definitely, you see, I'm not really into fancy, so this PC served me well. It still runs beautifully. It's just slow. All right, I don't want to mess this glass up, so I'm thinking the first thing to do is take this. God, it's tight. Oh my God. That one not so. Slide that off. All right. Well, they got little slots here for SSDs. That's pretty cool. On the back, hidden away. I'll be using M2 drives, so they'll go directly on the motherboard. But that's pretty neat. It looks like you got plenty of space for cable management. Yeah. Typically on the CPU, there's some type of notches on here where it can only go on the motherboard. So you look for those notches looks like the notches are, looks like it go this way. So some notch, and you just take it and set it in there lightly. Shake it around, make sure it's seat real good. Take that. Yeah. And squish in there really good. This is bank A1, A2, bank B1, B2. So my two sticks are going to the A banks. So long, short. So long, short. Stick that in there to a click. Now this board claimed to have 4 M2 slots, so I believe it's 2 under here, 2 here, and then 1 Hyper there. But let's take a look. Yeah, so nice heat sink, thermal tape on it to keep the hard drive cool. Stick that in there. And a little screw. All right. I've been using these 212s for years, like years. All my builds, that's what I use, but I'm going with water cooling this time, but hopefully this thing fit. The holes on this board is slightly different. Right where I need to be, there's like a little spike, or I don't know, right there where I need to be. I can't get the screw in the hole because that little thing is sticking out, and that's exactly where I need to be. So I either wait another week for my liquid cooler to come, or I need to make some modifications. Maybe this is a sign. Don't do it. Don't do it. Should be easy to put this on now. Now I did get some MX4 thermal compound for the CPU to cooling connection. You want to make sure you put thermal paste on, but I'm going to save this for my water cooler and go with the old trusted Arctic Silver 5. And let's do some globby. Good enough. All right. Put the fan on. I might have to take the RAM out. Yeah, take this RAM out. So for the most part, we can set the motherboard in. One thing I wanted to point out was that on motherboards, you have these headers for power, reset, for LED, and they correspond with wires that's coming out your case. And so you have to put these wires on these headers. But you do that once the motherboard gets into the case. Next, I have to check my standoffs. These right here is what the motherboard mounts to. And I need to make sure that the motherboard configuration has the standoffs needed. So we got here, here. That looks good. Looks like we got an extra one here. No, here. So I need to put one more standoff here. Let's see what the box gives us. Some cool stickers. The plate mount for the power supply. Some straps. Nice bag of, could have been a zip bag. Okay, get your wires out the way. Let's get this tape, pull it back. Screw it in. Next, I want to hook up the panel wires. That's the panel wires. Come out right there. Yeah, that's perfect. That's it. Next, we're going to get our USB connector on. USB 3. HD audio there. Let's see where we can route that. That's connected. Let's get this power supply open. That goes down. Definitely going to need CPU. Alright, we're going to need one of these. Goes to the motherboard, CPU, and graphics. And that is all we're going to need for this one. Really got to seat that in there. All right, that's all we need. Stick that one back out through. Okay, got most of that stuff worked out in there, and now it's the now. I am not gonna hold you. I have already opened this thing up to take a look at it, but yeah. So, and it is absolutely huge. This thing is huge. I mean, look at that. Why? Why is it so big? I'm going to give you a comparison. Let me take out the GPU out of my current computer. Hold on. Okay. This is a Gigabyte. Yeah, apparently I like Gigabyte. I don't know. I got a lot of Gigabyte stuff. But this is a 1070. This is my current GPU that I game with. It has, I think, 3 display ports, a HDMI and a DVI, right? So, and I'm able to play Call of Duty without no problems. But again, it struggles when I go to virtual reality. But looking at that compared to this, God, I mean, that is a major, major difference. That's huge. Look at that. So let's get this installed. I need to see which slot to go in. How many slots this thing cover? I could cover about 4 slots. Now this board is Gen5 PCI. I do know that these are just Gen4. Let's take this off. Gosh, dog. How it fit? I gotta take that off and that off. Force it in. Hell it. We talked about sag, but that's in there pretty good. It's a bracket that came with that, and I think I'm gonna try to find that bracket and see how it installs on there. But man, that's pretty good. Wow. I believe that you have to take off take that screw out, replace it with a standoff. Take this screw, this might get in the way. That might be in the way. Put this bracket on. Yeah, that damn thing, that's in the way. I don't know about this. That's just in the way. I'm gonna install this bracket here. I can't get this in there because the bracket is in the way. I don't know if they make L adapters, like 45-degree adapters. And I believe that this goes on like so. 3 screws. Then this goes back in. This, and that's that. That don't look bad. That works out great. No more sag. I don't know if we want to go over or under. All right, I got everything hooked up. Turn the power switch on and turn this on, and hopefully nothing burns up. Yeah. I guess I might have to plug it up. I only got a little nervous. Power switch. Didn't. We have nothing. So I did determine that the power supply, this power supply is bad. It's not booting the computer. I put in my old power supply and the computer booted right up. So yeah, gotta take that back. Now I went from three cables to all of this crap, because you need all of these cables to power that GPU, and that's the reason why I went with that one, because you only needed one cable. But I had to run 4 VGAs from this, and then I hooked up a SATA as well. So yeah, this is totally underpowered. This is only what 650 watts, so it's not enough. But I'm going for it anyway. I'll get this all hooked up and then turn it on. Okay, so the card comes with this cable, and you're supposed to, basically it needs 4 legs of VGA to get the necessary power. The whole reason why I bought the new power supply, so I wouldn't have to deal with this crap bola. But nevertheless, here we are. Okay, and I'm gonna definitely go under. And let's make sure we plug this in and get it seated real good. All right. Yuck. It is what it is. All right, so yeah, best plan, best laid out plan can always go sour. All right, here we go. Round 2. Turn that on and turn this on. There we go. Yeah. Hoping to get something on the monitor. There we go. Huh. All right. Now fans are not spinning. I gotta figure that out. Air cooling. All right. F10 to save changes. All right, let's install the operating system and get at it. Yeah. So figure out these fans and I'll be back. Okay, it's time to install the operating system. I'm just going to use this USB. It's a 3.0, so shouldn't be that slow. And I set up a timer to see how long it's going to take from turn on. We can start it now to a Windows boot. So my cooler finally arrived. This thing took 3.5. That's way too long. New egg. New egg, why you do me like that, right? So 3.5 weeks for this thing to arrive, but so far this Hyper 212 has been doing an okay job. The CPU still runs hot all the way up to 110 degrees, right? And so I would not recommend this particular air cooler for an i9-13th Gen. It's not enough, right? You need better cooling. So hopefully this thing will do the job. I have never installed a radiator cooler before, and so hopefully it'll go well. So, well, let's see. And hopefully the instructions are in here. Don't look like there's any instructions. Oh Lord. There's absolutely no instructions. So I guess we just gotta figure it out. Where's the instructions? I guess you just peel this tape off and stick it on there. Note to self, get a tool that takes off tape easy. All right, so I'm thinking that just sticks on here. Like so. So what I think I'm gonna have to do is, I think I'm gonna have to take these fans, move these fans up top, and then put this radiator on this vertical here. This radiator is huge. Like this thing is big, but got it in there like so, and then I had to flip this around. So I flipped that around, and then I think I should be able to get this on here, and then lift this up so I can get the fans on. And it just has these through screws. I gotta make sure I don't lose my screws. It goes through the fan like so, and should be able to attach through this grate onto there. I think that's the only way I can do it. Yeah, I think that's the only way I could have done it. I don't know any other way I could have actually accomplished that. So we'll get these tidied up here. We get all of our cables ran and set the heat sink here. Now they did include in the package some thermal paste, but I am going to be using this MX4 thermal compound. It's better, and so I imagine that you would just take these 4 screws, pull the tape off, put the heat sink on there, and just attach it. And that's it. Get some cable management going on and see how it works. Well, that's it. I've completed this build. I can say that I didn't build a lot of PCs in my lifetime, but this is one that I'm really, really, really proud about. The cable management is great. The computer looks good. This case was a little bit of a pain to work with, but all in all, once it was put together, it was a really good case. I can say that the power supply issue was my fault, and I will also blame the manufacturer. They included cabling that's on a power supply. It has VGA and CPU. You plug the same cable in, and both of the cables, all cables that they gave me was an 8-pin cable with the double pig on the end. And so there was a difference. They had one cable that was slightly different. Instead of having the 1 pin that can disconnect as a 6-pin versus an 8-pin, is 1 pin that was a 4-pin that can be disconnected as a 4-pin times 2, which is an 8-pin. And that's the one that actually needed to be hooked up to the motherboard. And I hooked up the VGA. But again, it's not labeled. And so I built a lot of computers in my lifetime, and typically the cables are always kind of like labeled. So I would say that Gigabyte, get your stuff together and label your cables. I will say though that the 650 power supply was actually doing a great job of powering the system. I did full stress tests, didn't have any problems with any type of hardware issues or anything like that. So 1,000 watts, they recommend at least 1,000 watt power supply, but I got along just fine with the 650 watt. Another thing is that the water cooler, the liquid cooler, definitely brought the temps down big time. I'm not going over 74 degrees now, even on full stress load. So the cooler is doing an amazing job keeping the CPU cool. But again, that 212, it just wasn't up to the task. I mentioned that before. So that cooler is definitely keeping the CPU 30 degrees. That's a 30-degree difference. That's pretty substantial. Now the water cooler, AIO is what they call it, all-in-one, was pretty expensive. I mean, it was a pretty expensive cooler, but again, this is 2022, you all. I've waited so long to upgrade my computer. I was on a 1070, 6600K. And I went past all of the generations, went past the 2000 series, the 3000 series. Actually, I was trying to get a 3000, but I couldn't get it because they were just not available. And so I did overpay for the GPU, but I don't have any buyer's remorse on that because I waited, you know, and I don't think the prices are going down that much. So, hey, there you go. On the screen here is a couple of benchmarks of the before PC versus the after PC. As you can see, it's about 4 times faster, 4 times faster than my previous PC. I have no problems running any games on max or ultra settings. My virtual reality is looking great. Only I guess what they call it, the weak link now is actually the headset. So this PC runs that just fine. I was able to work out the quirks that was going on inside with the bracket, got that L bracket installed in there. Also, this case had 2 of the newer USB type connections, and the motherboard only had 1, so I had to get this particular adapter to connect to 3.1 USB 3.1 connection up top. Other than that, that's pretty solid build. Oh, I did upgrade my keyboard to the Corsair, I think it's K70 V2, and then I upgraded my gaming mouse to a Razer Bosilic V3. And I can say that the keyboard hasn't made any difference in my life, but the mouse definitely is a lot more smooth, a lot more precise. So, hey, I am ready. I appreciate you all sticking around for this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you like this video by giving me a thumbs up, and leave me in the comment section if I left anything out or you guys want to know any more information about anything that I installed with this particular build. Until the next time, I appreciate you all. Hey.